Have you ever found yourself drawn to someone's charm, only to realize later that it was all just a facade? Or maybe you've sensed something off, unsure about a friend's true intentions, feeling deep down that something wasn't quite genuine. Understanding the signs of fake people isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about building relationships rooted in trust, sincerity, and authenticity. In today's video, we're going to uncover the top 10 signs you're dealing with a fake person. Stay with me until the end to gain practical wisdom that will empower you to navigate relationships with clarity and confidence. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment now. Click that subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you never miss another video. Your support truly means the world to me. And if you find this video helpful, please like and share it. It helps me continue creating meaningful content just for you. And one more thing. If you enjoy this topic, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, drop a 0. Your feedback helps me grow and serve you better. Now, let's begin. The first sign you're dealing with a fake person is this. They only show up when it suits them. One of the most obvious red flags is when someone appears in your life only when they need something. These individuals vanish during your struggles, yet magically reappear the moment they need a favor, attention, or support. It's disheartening and emotionally draining to realize that your connection with them is purely transactional, void of any genuine care, companionship, or mutual support. These manipulators operate from a place of calculated self-interest. To them, relationships are simply opportunities, stepping stones for personal gain. From my own journey, encountering people like this has been not just disappointing, but profoundly disillusioning. It's a sobering reminder. Some people will gladly exploit kindness and generosity without any thought to the emotional damage they leave behind. These relationships may look like friendships on the surface, but beneath that mask lies a complete lack of authenticity and emotional investment. And when you realize your value to them was only ever about what you could offer, the betrayal cuts deep. It leaves scars. Scars that can make trusting others in the future much harder. But here's the truth. This painful lesson teaches us discernment. It teaches self-protection. It urges us to reevaluate who truly deserves a place in our inner circle. Recognizing these toxic patterns is critical for preserving our emotional health. And while it takes courage to walk away from those who only use us, doing so empowers us to build relationships based on respect, sincerity, and true reciprocity. Trust your instincts. Set boundaries. And above all, prioritize the people who see your worth without needing something in return. The second sign of a fake friend is this. They disappear the moment you truly need them. These individuals are quick to show up when there's something to gain from your kindness, your help, or your generosity. But when the tables turn, when you need a helping hand, they vanish. Suddenly they're too busy, too unavailable, or simply nowhere to be found. These are the types who thrive on receiving, but find it inconvenient to give. To them, friendship isn't a bond, it's a transaction. There's no mutual care, no real emotional reciprocity, and when life gets hard, that's when their true nature reveals itself, disappearing completely. Or worse, offering shallow, insincere gestures that feel more like obligation than compassion. I've known people like this, and let me tell you, it's emotionally exhausting. It's painful to discover that someone you trusted only saw your friendship as a resource, a source of support for them, but never something they were willing to give back. This kind of one-sided dynamic doesn't just damage trust, it erodes the emotional foundation of the entire relationship. Because deep down, we all want to feel safe in our friendships. We want to know that support goes both ways. When loyalty is conditional and support is superficial, the sense of betrayal runs deep. That's why it's so important to recognize these patterns early. Guard your energy. Don't pour your heart into relationships where reciprocity is missing. Instead, invest in those who lift you up. The ones who show up not just for your victories, but for your struggles too. Choose friends who give as freely as they receive. who offer empathy, not excuses. These are the relationships that endure adversity, that nourish your soul and support your growth. Because when you surround yourself with real, authentic people, you don't just feel connected, you feel safe, valued, and resilient. And that's the kind of support system everyone deserves. The third point to consider: beware of people who pretend to listen to you when you speak. A critical red flag to watch for is people who feign listening, but are clearly distracted by their own priorities, like scrolling through social media or starting unrelated conversations while you're talking. Despite their physical presence, their attention is superficial at best or completely absent. This behavior shows up often, both in intimate conversations and group settings, where their engagement feels more like a performance than true interest in your thoughts and feelings. In my own experience, dealing with such individuals has been incredibly frustrating and disheartening. It's like talking to a wall, or realizing your voice is just background noise to them. That feeling of being unheard, dismissed, or unvalued can be deeply isolating. It erodes the very trust and connection you're trying to build. It's especially hurtful when someone you consider a friend or confidant fails to offer you even the basic respect of listening attentively. Worse yet, these individuals often show more insincerity by dominating conversations, interrupting constantly, and quickly shifting the focus back to themselves. They're not there to understand. They're there to be seen, to be heard, to take up space, and they do it at the expense of genuine, two-way dialogue. This kind of behavior reflects not only poor communication, but also a lack of empathy and respect for the perspectives of others. Recognizing these patterns is crucial for fostering authentic, enriching relationships. It requires mindfulness and the willingness to assess the quality of engagement in your social interactions. Because when you invest your time and emotional energy in relationships based on mutual respect and sincere exchange, you're honoring your own emotional well-being. By prioritizing spaces where real conversations happen, where ideas and emotions are exchanged freely, you nurture relationships that are supportive, uplifting, and rooted in authenticity. These kinds of connections are marked by active listening, genuine empathy, and a shared desire to understand and value each other. Cultivating such relationships not only strengthens your sense of belonging, but also contributes positively to your emotional fulfillment, creating a network of support that truly enhances the overall quality of your life. The fourth crucial point concerns the typical passive-aggressive behavior of fake people. One of the most insidious traits they possess is their mastery of subtle manipulation, skillfully disguising insults within what seem like innocent compliments or loaded questions. Their remarks are carefully crafted to undermine your confidence or make you feel uneasy, all while they maintain a polite and civil facade. Genuine compliments are rare from these individuals. Instead, they deliver backhanded remarks, designed to quietly erode your self-esteem while asserting their supposed superiority. From personal experience, interacting with people who behave this way has been deeply unsettling and damaging. It's disheartening to realize that someone can mask criticism behind a veneer of politeness or pretend concern. Their subtle jabs and insinuations create a toxic environment, one where you constantly second-guess yourself, your worth, and your abilities. The damage to your self-confidence can run deep, as these individuals specialize in chipping away at your self-worth under the guise of constructive feedback or casual conversation. And it doesn't stop there. Fake people often elevate themselves by tearing others down. They criticize the actions and achievements of those around them to bolster their own sense of importance. They view the failures of others as opportunities, stepping stones they can stand on to highlight their own supposed success. It becomes a cycle of negativity and insecurity, fueled by a need to sow doubt, stir confusion, and manipulate relationships for their own image. That's why recognizing and confronting this behavior is crucial for protecting your self-esteem and maintaining healthy relationships. It takes vigilance and a strong commitment to emotional well-being to break free from the grip of toxic interactions. Surrounding yourself with genuine, supportive people who uplift and encourage your growth is essential. When you prioritize relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and authentic support, you create an environment where your self-confidence can flourish. These connections reinforce your value, fuel your happiness, and enhance your fulfillment. Investing in relationships that celebrate your achievements and empower you to be your best self fosters a mindset of positivity and resilience, even in the face of criticism, doubt, or manipulation. The fifth point to consider concerns the constant unavailability of fake people, no matter how often you try to contact them, whether by phone, text, or other means. They never respond. They completely ignore you. You're always there for them, always ready to respond to their calls and meet their needs. But somehow, they're always too busy when it comes to you. Even when you run into them unexpectedly, on the street or in passing, they come across as rushed, cold, or distant. They constantly find excuses to dodge your invitations, whether it's work, prior obligations, or sometimes no reason at all. And that kind of pattern, it speaks volumes. It's a clear sign that they don't truly value your presence or appreciate your company. Their lack of commitment and authenticity becomes obvious through this persistent unavailability, revealing a deeper disinterest in maintaining a sincere and meaningful connection. Recognizing this behavior gives you power. It gives you the clarity to protect your energy, your heart, and your emotional well-being. You deserve relationships that bring real value into your life, not ones that leave you questioning your worth. So instead of chasing one-sided connections, seek out friendships built on reciprocity and mutual respect, where both people invest equitably in the bond. Because in a real friendship, you should never have to beg for time, attention, or effort. If you're still watching this video and these lessons are resonating with you, please comment 2 below to let me know you're still here with me. The sixth crucial point to consider concerns fake people's propensity to spread gossip about everything and everyone. One of the most glaring characteristics of fake individuals is their penchant for gossip. They seem to derive satisfaction from constantly criticizing and spreading rumors, leaving no topic or person untouched by their negative judgments. If someone in your circle spends significant time tearing others down, regardless of the context, it often serves as a smokescreen, a way to divert attention away from their own shortcomings and insecurities. For them, gossip becomes a shield. It's how they deflect scrutiny, how they manipulate perceptions, tarnishing reputations to boost their own fragile self-image. From my own experiences, encountering people who thrive on gossip has been profoundly disappointing and deeply unsettling. It's painful to witness how easily they betray trust and exploit information for personal gain, often at the expense of someone else's dignity and well-being. Discovering that someone you once considered a friend engages in such behavior can feel like a betrayal, a harsh contrast between their public persona and their private actions. The truth is, we can't always comprehend someone's real nature through surface-level interactions. Time often reveals what's hidden, and sometimes that includes uncomfortable truths about someone's integrity and authenticity. That's why it's so important to stay vigilant and discerning in your relationships. Prioritize connections built on honesty, respect, and mutual support. Avoid taking part in gossip or non-constructive criticism, because doing so not only protects others, but also protects your own emotional health. Surrounding yourself with individuals who foster an environment of trust and encouragement contributes significantly to your personal growth and peace of mind. Cultivating bonds rooted in sincerity and goodwill ensures that each person feels valued, respected, and safe. When genuine connections flourish, so does your well-being. By prioritizing authenticity and integrity, you create a strong foundation for meaningful relationships, ones that uplift, enrich, and empower. And in doing so, you safeguard your social circle against the emotional cost of deceit and manipulation. You foster security, clarity, and lasting fulfillment in your life. The seventh sign is lack of empathy. One of the most telling indicators of fake personalities is their consistent disregard for the feelings and hardships of others. These individuals show a noticeable lack of empathy. revealing an emotional detachment that slowly undermines genuine human connection. They may appear indifferent or even dismissive toward the emotions, needs, and struggles of those around them, always prioritizing their own desires without any concern for how their actions affect others. Encountering such behavior can be deeply unsettling and incredibly hurtful. It becomes painfully obvious in moments where compassion and understanding are most expected, yet they are nowhere to be found. Their inability or unwillingness to empathize reflects a self-centered approach to relationships, where every interaction becomes transactional, not heartfelt. In my own experiences, dealing with people who lack empathy has been emotionally draining and disheartening. It's hard to build trust, or even feel seen, when empathy is completely absent from the dynamic. Over time, their actions tend to follow a predictable pattern, choosing personal comfort or convenience over the emotional well-being of others. This leads to feelings of neglect, and sometimes even exploitation. That's why recognizing this lack of empathy is absolutely essential. It empowers you to set healthy boundaries and protect your emotional space. Surrounding yourself with people who show genuine empathy and compassion fosters an environment where mutual understanding and emotional connection can truly thrive. When you invest in relationships based on reciprocity and respect, you ensure that each person's feelings and their struggles are acknowledged, respected, and valued. And it's through these meaningful connections that you build a life filled with happiness, fulfillment, and emotional safety. The eighth sign is about manipulative tactics, specifically gaslighting. Gaslighting is a powerful and harmful manipulation technique, often used by fake individuals to distort your perception of reality, gradually eroding your confidence and your sense of truth. These individuals subtly manipulate situations to make you question your own memory, your perceptions, even your sanity. They might deny facts, events, or even conversations that you clearly remember, causing you to second-guess what you know to be true. By sowing seeds of uncertainty, they slowly take control, not just of situations, but of your very thoughts and emotions, often to maintain power and dominate the relationship. Experiencing gaslighting can be profoundly disorienting and emotionally devastating. It chips away at your self-esteem and your trust in your own judgment, leaving you in a cloud of confusion, doubt, and emotional exhaustion. Over time, this kind of manipulation can lead to anxiety, depression, and a distorted sense of reality as you struggle to reconcile the gap between your intuition and what you're being told. In my personal experiences, learning to recognize gaslighting has been crucial in navigating relationships with clarity and authenticity. It's essential to trust your instincts, and when something feels wrong, seek validation from trusted sources. Surround yourself with people who validate your experiences, who listen without judgment, and who foster open, honest communication. Protecting yourself from manipulative tactics also means setting firm boundaries and prioritizing relationships that are built on honesty, integrity, and mutual respect. Refusing to play along with manipulation and boldly asserting your reality are essential steps toward reclaiming your confidence and protecting your emotional well-being. By fostering environments where truth, dialogue, and mutual understanding prevail, you cultivate relationships that nurture your authenticity and empower you to trust your judgment again. The ninth sign is self-centeredness. Self-centeredness manifests in behaviors that consistently prioritize one's own needs and desires, often at the expense of others' well-being and feelings. Individuals who exhibit this trait frequently show a lack of empathy and awareness, completely overlooking how their actions affect the people around them. They may disregard others' perspectives, ignore boundaries, and treat relationships merely as a tool to fulfill their own agenda or gain advantage. Encountering this kind of behavior can be both frustrating and hurtful. It becomes especially clear in interactions where one person constantly dominates conversations, dismisses others' contributions, or manipulates situations to serve their own interests. This self-serving attitude erodes trust, weakens mutual respect, and creates emotional imbalance and resentment within relationships. From personal experience, Navigating relationships with self-centered individuals has been both challenging and emotionally draining. It's disheartening when someone refuses to consider your feelings or needs, focusing only on their own gratification, desires, or goals. This kind of behavior often leaves you feeling unappreciated, undervalued, and emotionally exhausted. That's why recognizing self-centeredness is crucial. It allows you to maintain healthy boundaries and safeguard your emotional well-being. Doing so requires assertiveness and a conscious choice to prioritize relationships rooted in mutual respect and consideration. Surrounding yourself with individuals who show empathy, reciprocity, and genuine care creates a supportive environment, one where everyone's needs are seen, heard, and valued. Choosing to distance yourself from self-centered people, while nurturing relationships built on understanding and collaboration, enhances your happiness and your sense of connection. By fostering a culture of empathy and cooperation, you contribute to building meaningful relationships that uplift and empower everyone involved. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you're still here with me. The 10th crucial point to consider is fake people's inclination toward those in positions of power. When someone is fake, they often gravitate toward individuals who hold status or authority, always seeking the quickest path to personal benefit or advancement. They may seem initially friendly and engaging, but can abruptly distance themselves the moment they no longer see utility in the relationship. These individuals are adept at creating superficial friendships, showcasing only their best attributes in an effort to gain favor with influential figures. This behavior is especially prevalent in professional environments, where they prioritize tasks and interactions based on who's in the room, particularly if that person holds power or offers opportunity. Their approach is driven by manipulation and strategic maneuvering, as they aim to align themselves with those who can further their agendas. Once their true motivations begin to surface, it becomes absolutely vital to stay vigilant and to build relationships rooted in trust, integrity, and sincerity. Furthermore, fake people often exhibit a constant need for attention to validate themselves. They crave being the center of focus and will go to great lengths to seek approval from others. This might include exaggerated behaviors or even belittling others in order to assert dominance and maintain control. However, their superficial charm fades quickly once their attempts at manipulation fail, or when their true nature is finally exposed. Recognizing these signs is essential for protecting your emotional well-being. By surrounding yourself with authentic and positive individuals who value sincerity over superficiality, you cultivate a healthy and empowering environment for both personal and professional growth. In addition to these traits, there's another critical indicator of fake people: their lack of consistency between words and actions. Genuine individuals align their behavior with their stated values and beliefs, building trust through integrity and reliability. In contrast, fake individuals often say one thing while doing another, creating confusion and slowly eroding trust. Moreover, they may use emotional manipulation as a tactic, leveraging others' feelings to meet their own objectives, with little to no regard for anyone's actual well-being. While they may feign empathy, their concern is usually shallow, conditional, and ultimately self-serving. Ultimately, trusting your intuition and carefully observing behavioral patterns are essential steps in identifying and navigating relationships with authenticity. By cultivating connections built on mutual respect, genuine sincerity, and shared values, you enrich your life and lay the foundation for lasting emotional fulfillment. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this video insightful and thought-provoking. What resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear from you. Please share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support allows us to continue creating content that inspires, empowers, and brings more meaning into your everyday life. See you in the next video.